Hello, welcome back to another year of cEDH mini builds. With nothing new going on in the scene as of late, I'll continue to update some of my personal favorite commanders. And today we have mardu, we have Extus Overlord, a deck that is a commander that is an infinite colored mana outlet in the command zone. On the back, its front does have a one cute combo with Dockside, and then we'll get into all of that. And this deck is not too far off from a Tymna Jeska deck. In fact, both decks could run the same combos, but where Extus shines is that he could be played as like a stacks deck, where Tymna Jeska wants to really turbo out the win. Extus can eat his eat the hate bears that are on the board in order to, on the turn win. We'll get into all that. So in that regard, I really like Extus. I really like Tymna Jeska. Over the years, I kind of just fell in love with mardu as a blue-black player. Like I am the blue-black player. That's where where it's at for me. But I kind of just really enjoy mardu decks too. But let's quickly go over. I guess we'll do a quick deck tech for both decks. The engines you would find in both. The engines you would find in any mardu deck where you have an infinite colored mana outlet. So quickly, we have a Tymna Jeska. Paper Tymna. I only have one copy, and that copy is in this deck. Jeska is your infinite red outlet. Extus is your infinite red-black outlet. And so this deck could do one thing that this deck can't, and that's to have a backup Dockside contingency plan if we lose our Dockside. But both decks easily could produce infinite colored mana by doing a World Gorger or Abdel combo with our Animate Dead like auras. I gotta get that Judge one. So we have Animate Dead, Dance of the Dead, Necromancy, and the new card, just more redundancy, Last Voyage of the Lasagna. An uncard that is legal in our format, and it's just more redundancy. It's another animated, essentially, for Force MC. So you could do a World Gorger combo to produce infinite colored mana. Both decks to do that, of course. We have an Auric Salvager Bomberman combo with Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond is already going to be in these decks because of Underworld Breach loops. And so you just make your infinite colored mana with a Bomberman combo. I consider putting that in this deck, but my Extus deck really wants to hit the brakes and slow the game down tremendously. If we lose Dockside Extortionist, the Tymna deck could do Dockside-esque loops with Blank Goblin, Mind Goblin, and yeah, because it's a Seething Song on a creature, it's infinite color, infinite red mana. Similar loops with the Dockside Extortionist. You can even throw a Cloudstone Curio to those loops. It's really whatever. Extus can't do anything with Blank Goblin. So those are the key differences. Tymna Jeska really wants to, Tymna wants to put in beats, and Jeska could finger bang dorks, whatever. But ultimately, Jeska is the infinite red colored mana outlet that's available in the command zone. Extus, red and black. If you didn't already know, Extus is front side. It's a double strike 2/4 body, which is neat. As Magecraft, not as impressive. I guess you could start recycling hate bears, where whenever you cast a copy or instant or sorcery, a copy of an instant or sorcery, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, you return a non-legendary creature from your graveyard to your hand. That's cool. Extus's backside is this sorcery for 6 Rakdos, Awaken the Blood Avatar. Pretty much says, as an additional cost to cast a spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature sacrificed this way. And so that's what I was talking about. This deck fits perfectly as a stacks deck with a lot of annoying hate bears, because the turn you're ready to go off, you can each your own hate bears to pay for the cost of the Awakened Blood Avatar, and then maybe do some dockside combo, whatever, right? You're going to eat your Rule of Law creatures or what have you. Each opponent sacrifices a creature, cool, whatever, and you create a 3/6 black-red avatar. It gains haste, and whenever it attacks, it deals an additional 3 to each opponent. So, yeah, it's you know, as long as you're not swinging first, and yeah, as long as you're not doing this combo in your main phase 2, you'll be all right. Very, very easy. I really, really like this deck. I actually get so many wins from this stupid Extus deck. So let's get into the deck tech. I really, really recommend it. And if you're already like in the cEDH scene, like you really should have all the pieces already for an Extus deck. So we have Dockside Extortionist. I mentioned it a million times. I'm not gonna upgrade Dockside. He could get banned any second. We have this bum card, Worthy Cause, which is an infinite with Extus and Dockside. As long as you pay, as long as you pay the buyback, white, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As Dockside is 6, then the Worthy Cause will sack the Dockside, and the Extus will trigger getting the Dockside back, and you cast it. So as long as Dockside count is 6, well, let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? There's no impact tremors in this deck. That's a waste of a slot. So it has to be Dockside 6 to net your infinite treasure. Then the Worthy Cause will eat the Extus, sending it back to the command zone, and then you can easily do the Awaken the Blood Avatar with your infinite treasure for the win. As a backup, we have Twin Flame combo, Dual Caster Mage combo. Twin Flame is a Dockside doubler. Cool. They're not too many. They're like no busted other ETB creatures in this deck, so you know. But we don't have too many options, too many win cons. So Twin Flame is fine. And of course, we have a Saw in Half. Saw in Half, unlike Twin Flame, doesn't give the copy creature haste, so you would have to hold up mana and do this at the end of someone's turn before it comes back to you. And a Dual Caster Mage. Very simple. You've seen it all before. Undual Breach, because why not? Praetor's Grasp. If we lose our Undual Breach, we can borrow someone else's. We can take their Thassa's Oracle, whatever. The world is your oyster. If we take their Thassa's Oracle, we can use Tainted Pact to do our Thoracle combo. I meet the requirement to run Tainted Pact. Of course, you are too. And Tainted Pact is just a really, really good A plus B tutor at instant speed. Our creature package, we want to put in beats with our creatures, get some value off of some of those type of, like the Tymnas. So we want to get aggressive with our creatures. But we have Ranger Captain of Eos, Ragavan, Esper Sentinel, Tymna, Simeon Spirit Guide, go fast, burn, Grim Hireling, phenomenal card to help us ramp, and really mediocre creature removal. We have Professional Phrasebreaker, Grand Abolisher, just to shut things off, Dothy Voidwalker, just to slow the game down. I'm on the fence about Mayhem Devil. Mayhem Devil in its own right. Could be Infinite Treasure Outlet, or it could just start pinging opponent's shit. You could be clever with your plays, hold up a fetch land, so when an opponent uses their fetch land, you then crack your fetch land, that's 2 points of damage to some hate bear, and little things like that. But he's not too important in this deck, so it's a meta call, the Mayhem Devil. Also, this deck is missing a Blind Obedience. I wanted to slot that in, so it's between the two. I think Mayhem Devil's going to stay, but I have to find a space for a Blind Obedience in this deck. So just follow the link in the description for any changes made to this build. Some hate bears, we have Dryneth Magistrate, Archivist of Agma, Aven Mind Sensor, Opposition Agent, Spitter of the Labyrinth. This might be the card maybe cut. This is the meta call. This is more of a meta call than Mayhem Devil, I think. Archon of Amiria, Aethersworn Canonist, Eidolon of Rhetoric. I don't have the actual Rule of Law enchantments in here because Awaken the Blood Avatar has no way to eat those type of cards, and so the turn I'm ready to go off, if I don't want to cuck myself with my own Rule of Law. Does that make sense? So I'll have the creatures, no problem. I'll have all the annoying Staxy creatures, no problem, no doubt. But not so much the enchantments and artifacts. There's one that I'm on the fence about. So again, this is a Stax deck that could just turn that off when I'm ready to combo off. We have a Kunaros, Hound of Athreos. Really big, beefy body. You don't see it being played, whatever. It's whatever, but it is a Grafdigger's Cage on a stick. And so, even though I'm on Undual Breach, like I said, the turn I'm ready to combo off, I can just eat the Kunaros. Phyrexian Revoker, turn off fucking Thrasios, whatever, turn off anything. Linvala, Keeper of Silence. And now, let's get into our instants and sorceries. We have Ad Nauseam. The CMC is a little bit higher, not a lot of 3-drops in this deck, but it's fine. When I play this deck, sometimes I really need that Ad Nauseam to just maybe add 8, 9 cards in my hand, because it's a little stale, right? Little cloggy, little stale sometimes, these hands, these turns. And plus, Ad Nauseam is a really, really phenomenal card. Maybe you have the win in your hand, and you can afford one more turn cycle. So you play the Ad Nauseam. Ad Nauseam is one of these cards that it has to get countered. So it's going to eat up your opponent's best utility to stop the Ad Nauseam. Because if an Ad Nauseam resolves, that's usually the end of the game. So everyone's going to throw everything they can to stop Ad Nauseam. So, pro and another pro. Peer into the Abyss. A lot of hungry black mana cards. So some decisions were made, which we'll see soon. A Wheel of Fortune. That's it. No Wheel of Misfortune. I haven't been on Wheel of Misfortune. I haven't been on Wheels really for a while. Whatever. Our tutors. We have a Gamble, Inlane Tutor, the Vampiric Tutor, Imperial Seal, Demonic Tutor, Diabolic Intent. Again, another neat way to eat my own creature to then combo off. Savine's Reclamation, but no Yawgmoth's Will. Yawgmoth is fine in like a turbo deck, I think. Savine's a great way to reuse a lost Underworld Reach. Maybe I can get value, reborn a creature, whatever. Counters, soft counters, hard counters. We have a silence, deflecting swat, pyroblast, and red elemental blast. Our removal. The removal could probably go a little bit get a little bit more insane in a deck like this, especially if you're like trying to get in with weenies. I was contemplating, like maybe Laning Bolt or even more removal. I was even contemplating sliding in like Sticky Fingers, just to make sure my weenies get in, get some value. I think Sticky Fingers is a pretty okay card for 1 red. So much going on. You know, if you get 2 for 1, it's really not a big deal. And then once this resolves, if you then you get 2 for 1, at least the card replaces itself. So giving a card menace and getting in and creating treasure, I think it's kind of good value, in my opinion. But what do I know? We have a Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshare, a Braid, the Vanishing Verse, a Soul Partition, which is a phenomenal card to turn your Raider combo off. I might cut this card because this deck is slower, but it's a really good card to just get rid of the single piece of stacks that's hindering you before you go off. Delayed Blast Fireball, fantastic card. Doesn't kill a Drannith Magistrate, but whatever. Try to keep these open for like your Sharns and Collector Oof. This does nothing against your Sharn. So, yeah. Watch out for your Sharns and Oof. Actually, this deck doesn't really care. No, it does care, because I'm usually doing Infinite Treasure Dockside things, so, you know, that's a meta call. We're hungry black mana. We have cards that are hungry for black mana. So we have our Dark Ritual, Cabal Ritual, Calling the Weak, another way to eat your own creatures, and a Rain of Filth. You have a Rite of Flame, and a Jeska as well. Rain of Filth is a really, really amazing card. If you're going to go off, don't just use your Rain of Filth. Even if you're not going to go off, you just need to make a big mana play. Yeah. Really good card. Our enchantments, artifacts, lands. We have a Smother and Tithe. I would probably not run Tithe in Tymna Jeska, because I think it's way too fast to run like a slow 4 mana card. But this deck, like I said, goes very, very slow. Necropotence. Some artifacts, some Staxy artifacts. We have Curse Totem, Grafdigger's Cage. I am myself an Underworld Breach deck, so I don't know. But decks that are faster than me get shut down with a Grafdigger's Cage. So it might just stay. I'll keep an eye out for that. That's it. And the Blind Obedience will go in somewhere. Our eggs, we have a Jeweled Lotus, Lotus Petal, LED. Our colored rocks, we have a Fell Warstone, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Indulgence. I don't have the other talismans. Hungry for black mana, nothing else. Even though this deck is a little heavy on the white. We have Chromox, Mox Opal, Mox Diamond. We have Mana Vault, Soul Ring, Mana Crypt. And then wrapping things up with our land, we have all 9 fetches. We have Swamp, a Snow Swamp, but I might cut this for a Plains. I don't own a planes. Isn't that weird? We have our shocks. These don't ever catch the light right. Godless Shrine, Blood Crypt, Sacred Foundry. Our duels, Badlands, Scrubland, Plateau. We have our other duel. This is the only one I'm concerned with. I don't care too much about the black-white ones. A luxury suite. Utility, we have Ancient Tomb, Phyrexian Tower, Iganjo. And then wrapping things up, we have our Rainbow Lands, Gemstone Cavern, Command Tower, Mana Confluence, Exotic Orchard, Spire of Industry, Gemstone Mine, and the City of Brass. And there you go. We have our double decktech, Tymna, Jeska, and Extus. Same exact deck. Same deck. This is just a turbo deck. This is can afford to be a Snacksy deck. But if you are not playing a Snacksy deck, you could put the same things in here, minus the Goblin. Alright, thank you so much. I have a crying baby, so I gotta take care of that. Bye-bye.